opportunity is something that will always present itself, and not always at the most opportune time. It comes when you least expect it. There's a story that my very good friend and teammate Harry Carson always talks about walking across the street in New York in the middle of the night.
I was working with Madison Square Garden Network in New York, and I was doing a show at 11 o'clock at night, and when the show was over, I had to walk from MSG to the parking lot where I was parked. So I'm walking down 8th Avenue at 11:30 at night, and I'm in the crosswalk crossing 34th Street. And as I'm crossing the street, there was a guy who approached me, and he goes, "Hey, you're that football player." And I said to myself, it's 11:30 at night, you're in New York, somebody's stopping to talk to you in the middle of 34th Street, keep walking. And he walked back across the street with me, and he said, "I just want to thank you for coming to Rikers Island, you and your group." And he said, "I heard everything that you guys said, and you really influenced me. You had an impact on my life."
And it's so interesting how that happens, and, when you try to explain this from your vantage point because of your experiences, and when it happens to others and then they can explain it from their vantage point, it creates that ecosystem that makes this world a better place. And I think that's what we're trying to do, is just make that contribution to this world.
One of my good friends, another scholarship recipient from Marion, Jason Blake. He's the half-brother of the professional tennis player, James Blake. And he used his scholarship to go to Morehouse College. He graduated 4 years at Morehouse College. He went to Columbia Business School, and today he's a pretty, successful business person in the community. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's the most compelling part.
I think that when you look at our greatest program at MAN, which is our scholarship program, when you look at the passion that is generated by our chairman, Bob Wormsby, who chairs our scholarship committee, when you look at the way he approaches it by taking each case on an individual basis, when he drills down and he looks into the very soul of those individuals, and he tries to determine where that need is.
It's always so comforting when you see something like a news article in the Star-Ledger talking about a child getting a letter from heaven. And that letter from heaven happens to be that letter from your scholarship that tells her that she has become one of the MAN scholars. And then her parent will tell you just how important it was, and how without that opportunity, there was no chance of that individual going to a higher level of education.
And now, because we've had 20 years of MAN scholars, we have some people that are in the middle of their careers and doing quite well, and are actually coming back and helping these young people. So it's a constant reinforcement, not just financial, but academic as well as social.
So right, sometimes we think of the sponsorships as just money, but sometimes the sponsorships help provide avenues and opportunities as well. I can think of the Hunter Douglas example, where there were kids, because of their association with MAN, actually had jobs at Hunter Douglas. So in one sense, they made money, but they also got some tremendous life skills. So I think that the sponsors, they are incredibly important to the organization to help expand what the organization is able to do, as well as help fund the scholarships and other financial challenges that the organization may have.
Sometimes opportunities fall right in your lap, but oftentimes you can create your own opportunities just by thinking differently or thinking outside the box.
And that sometimes is when you muster all of those courages, all of those life skills, all of those assets and allies that you've had, and say, we're going to continue to move forward because it's important.
We create these opportunities or situations where something happens, an aha moment, and we say, wow, now this is where I can apply myself. So every time we have one of those situations where we can apply ourselves, the things that are near and dear to us, the things that we've been working on, the things that we've stayed committed to and disciplined, that's called opportunity.
I think it's so important that our mission of making a difference is passed on to another generation, that we could inspire others behind us to take this banner, embrace it, and to do even more than we ever believed.
I think with enough new recruits, enough resources, enough corporate sponsors, and enough individuals from the grassroots level promoting this organization and promoting our programs, the sky's the absolute limit. I think over the past 20 years, you've seen that the foundation has been laid for some good things and some positive things to take place, positive changes in the community. We found ways to help kids that may have the skills, they may have the mindset, but they don't have the means. We simply given those means, so the resources are all in place. We're simply going to build off of those resources.
They're going to look at the foundation that we started with this, and they're going to build it broader, stronger, wider. They're going to look at the infrastructure that we had, and they're going to make it bigger, deeper, and more impactful. And I think that eventually, MAN is going to be something that's going to be recognizable, not just in the tri-state region, but I think on a regional basis or even national eventually.